This is Kathy in Potomac, Maryland. Great to have you here.
Oh, thanks, Rush. Happy New Year and happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
Before I get to the reason for my call, I'd like to make a very brief linguistic observation, and that is that civility is the new word for censorship.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's a great point.
Yeah, we don't want to criticize the state. So, Rush, the reason I called is I could only take 2 minutes of that Paul Wellstone memorial yesterday, and that's exactly what it was. In essence, I think people were asked to worship at the altar of the state, and if I may be so bold as to say the Church of Barak the Redeemer. That's why there were no religious figures reading from the Bible. The status read from the Bible. It was very discouraging.
Well, particularly, I'm sure, against what you were expecting.
Yes, yes. In fact, I saw it on the television. I decided eventually to watch it or to listen to it on the radio because what I saw on the television with people milling around that arena, I found very distasteful. And I thought I don't want to be distracted by watching all the people there, so I'll listen to it on the radio. And when the hooping and hollering started, I just said, this is almost sacrilegious, and I had to
Well, let me ask you a question. Since you were listening on the radio, I have to ask you what your impression was of something I was watching. I was watching before everything got started. They had the cameras in there, but they did not have the cameras on the orchestra. There was an orchestra, there were a band in there that was playing, but I didn't know that. And shortly before the ceremony began, I kept hearing what I thought was gunshots or a drum or something. And I'm trying, what in the world is going on in that room? I'm looking around, nobody's reacting to it. I figure there's got to be a band. Are you aware of what I'm talking about? And if you are, I'm curious what you thought when you heard this.
No, I don't think I recall hearing a drum beat, but I'm wondering.
Not a drum beat. Every now and then, like somebody smashing a bass drum or something, or a gunshot going off. Obviously, it wasn't that, but I'm trying to figure out, what is this noise in there? Was it that the band was doing a warm-up routine or something?
Or maybe it was the medicine man.
Well, I thought maybe there's some Native American ceremony going on in here before the actual memorial begins, because I couldn't see the band, and I was wondering if something like that was going on.
Yes, well, that could well be, but it was unseemly for a memorial service, at least as I think of a memorial service.
Well, do you remember the Wellstone Memorial?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I remember President Clinton walking out and wiping the tear from his eye when the camera was on him. And the college or the university president reminded me of the same thing, yucking it up beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah. We have some sound bites from the Wellstone Memorial. I'm debating whether or not we should go back and play them. Draw. There's a slight analogy, but I think her point about words is really great. Civility is the new censorship. Civility is the new word for shut the heck up.